Doctor says the midfielder received life-saving cardiac massage treatment on the pitch and is now in a stable condition. The game was suspended but later resumed at the request of both teams. Natalie Perks reports.
It was a picture that gave hope to millions. Christian Eriksen leaving the Parken Stadium on a stretcher, dazed but awake. Moments earlier, it had all seemed far more worrying. The game was near half-time when, without a player around him, Eriksen staggered to the ground and collapsed. Teammates immediately recognised how serious this was, forming a protective ring around him as medics rushed onto the pitch. But fans and players could only look on in horror as doctors attempted to resuscitate the midfielder. English referee Anthony Taylor swiftly suspended the match as fans of both Denmark and Finland chanted Eriksen's name. Back in the BBC studio, former players struggled to contain their emotions.
I think football totally goes out of the window right now, and you're thinking about his family, all the rest of the players that are out there witnessing it as well. I actually just got on my phone, I messaged my mum and told her I love her, and I think it's a reminder of how quickly life can change.
That first 5-6 minutes, God, I'm telling you, man, it's horrible. Oh, Mr. B. It's horrible.
Fabrice Muamba understands all too well what Eriksen went through. In 2012, the former Bolton player collapsed in an FA Cup quarter-final. Remarkably, his heart stopped for 78 minutes. Watching tonight was understandably difficult.
It brought back stuff that I've put down in me. This sort of emotion that just deep down there, I never want to relieve it again. And then to watch it from that distance and not knowing the expectation of what's going to happen, it's scary.
The match between Denmark and Finland continued tonight after both teams requested to restart the game. Eriksen had spoken to his teammates from his hospital bed to reassure them he was okay.
Because Christian is well, it was important for them to know that he is awake. He got help quickly from our own doctors and the rest of the staff who helped and saved him. The players have been reassured that Christian is well, and that was important for them. There's no doubt that the players are playing the game on adrenaline, and then we must take care of everything else afterwards. Right now, football is not important, but the players have talked with Christian and they know that he is well, and that gave them some comfort. And they're now playing the game for him.
Eriksen is now stable in hospital. Football so often divides, but tonight a continent drew a collective sigh of relief. Natalie Perks, BBC News.
Well, I've been speaking to the journalist Adrienne Murray in Copenhagen, who told me more about the reaction to what happened.
Well, we're still waiting for an update this morning, Karen, but the latest we heard was from last night when we were told he was conscious and stable. Obviously here people have been utterly shocked by what happened. Fans inside the stadium but also outside have been really deeply concerned about Eriksen's health. He is one of the biggest stars here in Denmark. All the headlines this morning on the newspapers are talking about one thing, and that's about Christian Eriksen.
Adrienne, what was the reaction like when this terrible thing unfolded live on television?
Well, I think you probably heard that inside the stadium, fans were in shock. There was a very eerie silence, a quietness from a place where normally you have fans cheering. Bars here in Copenhagen as well were ready to host lots of fans to watch the game. Some of those fell silent. We were really just glued to the screens watching what happened. Quite early on, though, it cut away to aerial shots of the stadium. So a lot of the people here in Denmark will have been shielded from seeing some of the details of what unfolded on the pitch. But obviously very distressing images to start with. Until then, we had a press conference later on where actually the doctor, who was one of the first medics on the pitch, said that Eriksen was unconscious when they first came on the pitch, but then later he was breathing and had a pulse, but then things rapidly deteriorated. Obviously, they had to do treatment on the pitch. He was then brought to the hospital here last night. He's still here and we're waiting for an update this morning.
Adrienne Murray in Copenhagen.